Hey everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your Akashic Records expert and energy shift advisor. How's everybody doing tonight? It's so super exciting. We have a lot to share tonight. um, First of all, it is June the 15th of 2021. And it is really a very dynamic time to be alive in this world in the here and now. So I'm going to share a few things from you that I've pulled from astrology or just the alignment of the planets in astronomy and how that affects the vibrational frequency of the planet. And I'm also going to share with you how the Akashic records are so super accessible right now. I mean, it is so amazing how the Akashic records are accessible and what's happening in the here and now. So if you like Akashic record readings, if you understand how frequency works, how energy works, if you understand how karma works, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and share this video right now, right this minute with someone else so they can jump on and get this information live and they can ask us questions in real time. So first order of business, I'm going to talk about a little bit of housekeeping. Second order of business, I'm going to talk about where we are in space and time, how that's affecting the Akashic records. And the third order of business, I thought it'd be fun to go on and do another reading like we did last time. Everybody seemed to really enjoy that. So hang on, here we go. First order of housekeeping, I'd like to thank all of those of you that reached out to me with hugs and loves as I've been recovering from my illness, and I'm feeling much better. Still not 100% strong, but I'm getting there. And I have reached out to every person that was on my schedule, both at the bookstore and in my private practice, to get them rescheduled since I've been sick. So if I missed you somehow, please message me, private message me, so we can get you on the books and get that taken care of. All right, let's move on to what's happening now. So again, it is June 15th, 2021. And the alignment of all of the planets where they are in Leo and the moon and we've got Venus and all that stuff. If you're here on Facebook, scroll down and you can see some of the postings I've done with those various planets. But what that means is that when we entered the age of Aquarius, we had a malefic and a benefic planet that locked in place for a while. And this age is something they talked about in the 1800s. This goes back to writings around Dante, and that goes around Charles Dickens. And if you look back at what the authors, historians were writing, and they were talking about mysticism and if I can remember, that's the one from I have to remember, alchemy. That's it, alchemy. You're going to find that they were all talking about what was going to happen at this time, and they were also putting things forward. And when this great country was born, the Constitution of the United States, when that was born, they were actually also looking at the astrology to give it the biggest push to go forward. Because as you know, America is a very young country, very young. And so they wanted to make sure that when these things happened, that we had the smoothest ride possible. So the things that I've been talking with my clients about this week, things you may be noticing in your own life as a result of these planets being in this alignment right here and right now. You may have been noticing lots and lots of tension. Yes, I know it's summer. Yes, I know it's hot outside. Yes, I know there's things going on in the political scene. Yes, I know the stock market is going crazy, but all of that is a result of these shifts. So I'm not really talking about that angle. I'm talking about you, because right now in time and space, the most important person on the planet is you. How you feel about yourself, how you feel about your self-worth, and how you're executing or doing self-love. Because put it simply, if you're not engaging in those things and cleaning up your poop at this time and walking forward boldly in your life, you are missing out. For the last 2 years, I've talked about pivoting. I've talked about, being at the center of a hub and looking at all aspects of our lives and working through that. And now that time is coming to a close. And these energy shifts, this planet, this dynamic shift, God, Spirit, or Source, is asking those of us that are awake, aware, alert, highly sensitive, empaths, starseeds, or just awake, to walk forward in no fear. No fear. And what does that look like? Because some of you all are like, what? So what that means is I want you to imagine yourself being on an escalator. If you've ever seen the escalator, the moving stairs. And when you step up to the front of it, you see the stairs going and you're like, okay, when am I going to jump on? Or maybe some of you just jump on and run and jump on. But if you put your first foot on, we used to do this when we were kids, and we'd wait until the elevator went so high that our legs were stretched and we couldn't do it anymore. And then we'd kind of jump up, hold on to the rail. Well, the first step is gone. And the second step is coming. So if there is something in your life that you've been struggling with, wanting to put behind you, wondering if you should, wondering if you could, this is the time. Because what is going to happen now is as we accelerate into the next few months, as we go through these eclipse season times, those two stairs are going to get further and further and further apart. So let me give you some examples here. I'm going to see if I have any questions in the feed. If you all can think of any questions, you let me know. But let me give you some examples. So for instance, after my illness, I could not do as many things as I could before. And so I had to make a schedule for myself. I had to say, okay, I'm going to bring my clients down to 2 hours a day. And then I'm going to get some classes ready so I can teach more people more quickly and then just do a couple of appointments a day because I simply didn't have the strength. So when I put that in place in my regular schedule in my everyday life, and then all the other things you do in your world, what I noticed is that my mind was freer to think about creating the classes, which I know somebody tagged me and said, hey, when are they coming up? I'm still pinning them. Won't be too much longer. And in that, when I'm doing those activities, I used to just go and blow, and whatever came up in my day, I'd make a laundry list of everything I had to do. And that's what got done. And if I worked with clients on that day, great. So having a set schedule is giving me a framework to work within. If that makes sense to you, please give me a thumbs up. If it's irritating to you, let me know that too, the little, angry face. But what I'm saying to you is like my daughter, I told her today, this is going to be our schedule Monday through Friday. And she hates schedules. She's like, no, I don't get to do what I want to do for the summer and hang out with my friends and all that. But in that is security because she knows on a routine basis what to expect every single day, what's expected of her when she has her free time. And just by doing that simple step, if you're challenged right now, with, say, a romantic relationship, maybe you put yourself all in and you thought they put themselves all in and you find them ditching you. Or maybe you're on the flip side. Maybe you dating somebody and you thought they were the most fantastic person in the world, and then you find out they got some things that you're not willing to live with. And you're ready to go, bye-bye. But you keep hanging on because you feel guilty if you did. Or maybe you wouldn't have somebody in your life if you did. Those are the kinds of boundaries, the forms, the shapes that I'm asking you to make in order to move forward. Because if you have all the excess fat, so to speak, and you ever look at a steak, they're always so really good and yummy, the steaks that have all the marble in them because there's more fat and they don't get dry when you cook them. Well, what I'm telling you is all of that excess has to go away in order for you to make this next jump, this next leap, to be elevated, to allow the universe to support you. That's the next biggest thing coming up. I am telling you now, the next 3 or 4 months, you're going to see some really crazy stuff on the world scene, and it will be local as well as big as things attempt to balance out after COVID. Because as you know, living in a post-COVID world is not easy. People are still trying to decide, do I look like this? Do I not look like this? You've got finances, people trying to get back on their feet, people needing employees desperately for the summer, places that are open that weren't open last year. Can't find enough people to work, and you got people that can't find a job. So it's just like all over the place, and people are freaking out. Well, the reason for that is because the energy's been shaken up, like, and now the shaking has stopped. And so everybody's trying to figure out where they settle out. This is a fantastic opportunity for you to figure out, where do you want to settle, desire to settle? Where are you taking your life? This is the time to decide. Now, I'm going to move over to Akashic Records. And, I put on, when I sent out an email to let everybody know that we were going to be having this tonight. If you're not on my email, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on contact, scroll down to email, and it'll send you an email to let you know what we're doing on these talks so you can know which ones you'd like to make. But I put on this one that the evolution of the planet and the sensitives that are awake and aware are getting up leveled to new possibilities. Okay, and I talked about that people can balance out old karmic debt by clearing Akashic records and taking action. I just talked to you about how you can take action, what that looks like. Again, if you have any questions, please put them down here in the feed. So, here's the exciting part. When I first started accessing Akashic records, which could be translated in the Bible to the Book of Life. For those of you that don't know what an Akashic record is, all of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, what you do, yes, even the bad stuff when you think nobody's looking, are written into an energy record or an energy imprint called an Akashic record. And when you get done living with that lifetime, it's put up on a shelf for you to look at when you return the next time, or for you to make choices about what you're going to do the next time. And this, if you're not ever familiar with past lives, or you're kind of iffy about it, keep listening. So God, Spirit Source, creates a beautiful divine spirit being. That's you. And that beautiful divine spirit being is your all that is. And yes, this is one perspective. So I'd like for you to look at the palm of your hand. And I'd like for you to imagine that the palm of your hand is your divine self that God, Spirit, or Source created. That's you. And when you were there, you wanted to learn. You can learn in a spirit life. You can learn lots of things in a spirit life. It's a little bit easier to move around because you don't have your heavy 3D carbon body. But you will still learn. But you won't have practical application until you come in some sort of an incarnation or carbon body. So it'd be a bit like reading a book on how to fix the 57 Chevy, and you read the whole book, and you got out the tools, and you learned about the parts that you needed, and you laid it all out. And guess what? You never fixed the 57 Chevy. So you have no experience. So you don't know what it's like to struggle, what it's like to regroup, what it's like to go, okay, I need a part I didn't have, and you got to thumb a ride to the store. Or I guess these days you can call and have it delivered. But that's what Akashic records are. They are the book of all the experiences you've ever had. Putting together the 57 Chevy would be just one. So it would be silly to think, if you are a spiritual being and you can be in many places at the same time, why would you go into one life at a time and go back and choose another life? That would take a very long time to learn. So think about it this way. When you went to school, you didn't take English kindergarten through 12th and then go back at 12th grade and start over in kindergarten and learn math all at the same time. So if you think about your hand as being your all that is, your divine self, and your thumb and each one of your fingers being a lifetime. And so the divine self shoots itself out into different timelines. If you don't like past lives, think of it as a timeline. Go read Einstein, okay? Duality theory. So what you've got going on here is you have many lives existing simultaneously. All of these feeding their information back to the divine self. Each one of these lives has a record, and they feed back to the divine self back here. And so I told you that right now is a very easy time to clear karma. Very easy time. Why is that? Because when I first started reading the Akashic records about 20 years ago, we had access to maybe 500-600 lifetimes maximum, and then I saw it increase to thousands, and then it shot up in the last 4 or 5 months, where I have cleared millions of karmic lifetimes at the same time. And you're like, what's a karmic lifetime? Okay. It's basically energy that is not balanced. Energy that's not balanced. So if you take someone else's life, then the person who lost their life and all their loved ones have energy taken from them. And you took energy. And so now it's unbalanced. So in the next time around, something has to happen in order to balance that out, because this universe is all about energy. God's spirit or source is energy. We are energy, although in a lower vibrational body. So karma is only the act of the universe balancing itself out. And you say to me, well, I thought you said it could be cleared. The energy could be cleared and it's time to get rid of a lot of karma. Yes, it is. And here's why. So if you've ever played paintball, on the top of the paintball is a little device where all the paintballs go in, but they sit there until you use them, and you go one at a time. Well, all of the karma from many other times or timelines of existence has come back to the divine self to shoot itself out into the here and now, because the here and now is a huge transformational place where you can take care of things just like that. So why not? So that's why you may be feeling like, one gal said to me, I thought I'd done all this work already with inside of myself, and here it comes again. Well, one, yes, you have done that work, and that's fantastic. But part of one of your other lives here that was working on the same thing wanted to flesh it out through this lifetime so you could balance out that energy. Or maybe somebody else was balancing out their energy and you were helping out. There's lots of possibilities. But what I've been finding with all the clients that I've been working with, especially this last week, is I've been working on lack of self-esteem, lack of self-love, and my personal favorite, self-punishment, where you set yourself up. And what I did was I asked to open all the records, all the karmic records throughout all lifetimes. If you think about self-punishment, that's kind of a deal where you punish yourself because you've been bad in another life, and you think if you punish yourself enough, you'll somehow balance things out. Not really work that way. But you've got the self-loathing, all that kind of stuff we don't like to talk about. But if you're setting yourself up in your life, you're not succeeding, you're not letting go of old habits or behaviors and not moving forward little tiny steps at a time, then you're not flushing out your karma. So one way I can help you to accelerate it is by accessing the Akashic records, lining up all the lifetimes, and clearing those lifetimes out. Excuse me. Still recovering. One moment. Oh, please excuse me. One of the side effects from the sickness. Okay. So where were we? Okay. So I want you to visualize that because this time and space is so special and we're clearing out lots and lots of energy, we have these lifetimes right? And who knows how many's here? Sometimes you'll do 26 at the same time, sometimes bigger. And then you have the lifetime before that and the lifetime before that. So you have your divine self is here, finishes what it learns, relocates, does it again, relocates, does it again. And so this is the first time I have ever seen access to that much karma. Generally, in my experience, 200 to 500 lifetimes being cleared at the same time is because that's how many you've worked on this, and it's got to be done. Does that mean you get out of it? Absolutely not. What it means is all the excess baggage gets kicked off. And I was telling one of my clients today, even though this is not actual, it's like being in a hot air balloon. And if I remember correctly, they put the bags on the outside to hold down the balloon. When they want to take off, they put them on the inside. So this karma, if you will, is stuff that has been holding us back. And so when you clear it through clearing the Akashic records, you access them and clear them if you know how. If you don't, let me know. I'll be glad to help you. Then you're getting rid of all of that baggage that isn't needed for you to learn the one single lesson that you came to learn. And maybe you came to learn 6 lessons. But I want to ask you, why in the world would you drag around 6,000 tons of energetic weight when you don't need to? When you can get rid of, what is it, 599, 5,999 tons of it, and just have 1 pound left that you're working on. I'm sorry, mathematicians, I love you. You can put it in the comments. But what I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart is my guides have been telling me this. The clients, my regular clients that have called me for energy clearings, when we found this, we were so stoked that this is available to us now. That we can do that for ourselves, lighten our load, and feel happy in our lives. Who doesn't want to feel happier in their lives? Who doesn't want a more simple, easy life? Yes, we're going to have problems, in this life. We always have challenges. But how would you like to put all of your old crap behind you and be done with it and not dragging it, like a sack of potatoes? So that's what I'm saying. I hope that it's clear to you. And the other thing I'm finding for those of you a little bit more advanced is there's different levels of energy when we come into this life that we come through. There's different levels. There's different beings that help us, that God's put in place to help us. What are you going to learn in this lifetime? What family are you going to? Blah, 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 right? And some of those levels have snarls in them. Some of them have combinations. If you're really into numbers, they have number combinations. And it's like a tumbler lock that's gotten out of place. And so you're stuck in a loop of doing the same thing over and over and over and over. And you're like, when will I be done with this? That loop is very prevalent. It's being shown to me. And so what we do is we go find out what the number combination is on the loop, and we undo the numbers. And then the locker opens, so to speak. And there's so much relief and release. I'm going to write an article and put it out this coming up Saturday. So it'll go out via email, and it'll go out on Tools of Energy Protection, talking about what we're talking about tonight on this video. So one of the things I've changed on my platform is I used to do this live, and then I would write a video, put it up on YouTube, and put it up on website and all that. But I'm writing my articles now to go out Saturday morning emails. So if you want to get the content that I'm going to talk about, how to work through, how to overcome, how to get to the next level, how to work through your karma, all that kind of stuff, then go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on contact, scroll down to email, put yourself in there, make sure it doesn't go into promotions or spam if you're on Gmail or the other ones as well. Right? And follow along for a few weeks. If you don't like it, you could just meet me back here. I know everybody has their way. Some people are like, oh, I just want this, and I want Instagram, and I want Facebook, and all that. But anyway, but that's where it's at. So I'm going to look at the questions, then we're going to come back, then I'm going to shuffle the cards, and then I'm going to do a reading of what the energies are personally for health, wealth, and romance. So you're going to get all 3 tonight, okay? So let's have a look and see if we've got any questions. Oh, wow, I got a lot of folks joining. I'm really super excited about that. Looks like a couple new folks. Let's see here. One comment, things came up quickly this weekend. Crazy clearing. Yes, things are popping like popcorn and coming out of left field. I'm glad you brought that up because some of the things that are balancing are really coming out of left field where you don't expect them. And so please don't freak out. It's just the universe going, you forgot to take care of this and you forgot to take care of this. Put it on your list and do it incrementally. Let's see here. All right. So if you have any questions, if you can think of anything, please put them down in the post. If you're on YouTube watching this, go ahead and put them in the comments below. I'm checking my YouTube comments now daily, Monday through Friday. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm using, this is not a tarot deck, but this is an oracle deck or a wisdom deck. And what an oracle is, if you've ever heard of the Oracle of Delphi, is it's putting your energy, remember energy, everything's energy, but putting your energy into this deck of cards when you don't intuitively know things. And I thought that was kind of fun last time and people seemed to enjoy it. So I'm going to pull a card for health. What's going to go on with people's health? So think about your health, either mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, energetically, whichever health you're after. And my guides are telling me to pull the third card down. So let's see what the third card down is. Oh ho, it's fork in the road, if you can see that. Fork in the road. Okay? So that's on your health. So if you're working on your mental health, fork in the road. We've been through COVID and everybody's still trying to balance out what they're doing, where their money's coming from. A lot of the mental health practitioners aren't taking new clients because they're overloaded. And I know that, I've got the 2 hours I'm doing, and I know I've got a lot of clients that are reaching out to me because they need that help. They need that support, that transition, that love. So definitely a fork in the road. And this is a time for you to decide, where are you going in your life? What are you doing? Are you going to shape up your life, put some framework in your life, and go forward in your life? Or are you going to throw it all away and just keep doing the same old, and in about 4 or 5 months from now, when things change again, you're going to be like metaphorically knocking on the outside of the ark going, help me. So I'm not saying there's a flood coming. It's this energy uplift. It's a higher level consciousness, being able to see what's real and what's really going on. Okay? All right. So I'll look back here at the questions in just a minute. Looks like I had a couple others pop open. So let's go ahead and everybody think about your wealth. So if you don't have a job, think about, how do you want to handle that? I know some people had COVID money in their pockets and they're kind of running out of that and wondering what they're going to do to return to the workforce. I know some people are just going on, doing their jobs. Everything is all fine. They're working from home, maybe a little stir crazy. Some people are, wondering about the stock market. If you've been watching it lately, it's kind of gone wiggy. It's like up, and then woo, down, and all kinds of stuff. And as different countries announce that they're taking sides against the other, you're going to see that a lot more. There's going to be a shift in the economy in about 4 months, especially here in Colorado. And it'll be right around the housing market. So you might want to, if you're going to sell and you want to sell in the high market, you might want to get on that. But you got about 4 months, and then things are going to get a little weird. Okay. I don't know what about the number 3 is tonight. All right, here goes the, okay, so we did health. Now this is for wealth. Okay, interesting. Wealth, it says cleaning it up. Okay, cleaning it up. So for me, in my wealth, cleaning it up, what that means is I don't want a lot of money going out. And if you have credit cards, if you don't pay your credit card on time, they charge you interest, they charge you fees. And, by the time you make a credit card payment, you might as well not have bothered because it was just zero. So this is a good time to pay down your credit cards. Even if you can only do $5 extra a month, you need to clean it up. And bring in to your own beingness, your own state, your self-respect. So if that means putting money away for retirement, if it means putting money away to take a trip that you've been wanting to take for a long time, then that's what you need to do. And then if you're looking for a job with the clean it up, or having some issues with that, then it's time to draw some boundaries between you and your work. Just because you work from home doesn't mean you work 24/7. And if you've got any other issues, if there's some personality issues, it's time to clean that up, clear the air. Do what you need to do to make your everyday working environment better, because that's an energy exchange. Working is energy exchanged, and then you get a check, which is money, and then you change that into your housing and whatever else you change it into. All right. So if you're enjoying this, I do have my other monitor over here where I can see. Can you give me some thumbs up if you're enjoying this? Because if you are, I will continue to do this since I'm changing my platform to more fun things. If not, I will stop doing it and we'll go back to doing the old stuff. Okay, I got one thumbs up. Anybody else? Oh, there's some more. Okay, great. I'm glad you're loving it. All right. Oh, good. Yay. Okay, super. Hearts and thumbs. For those of you that want to talk about Schumann's resonant frequency and the shifts on the planet and the vibrations, please go to my website, toolsofenergyprotection.com, and click on Energy Shift Inner Circle, and you can join up there. The first month is discounted, and we meet once a week, every week, and we talk about Schumann's, what's going on in the world, how you can use different things, crystals and herbs and plants and stuff to help you to work through these times. So it's really more of a support system. It's if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to YouTube, my YouTube channel, and watch, the last, like right around COVID time last year, and you're going to see me talking about energy shifts and changes. That's what I'm doing on the inner circle. Okay. So we had health and we had a wealth, and now we have romance. You're going to love this. All that glitters. Do you remember that? All that glitters is not gold. And look at this. You've got masks. People are covering up who they are. And it looks like it's really super wonderful. So what my guides are telling me. Oh, yeah. And if you can see it, there's an angel in the background checking it out. You see that? Watching over what's happening. So this is all that glitters. So one thing I have noticed in the romance department post-COVID, so many people were hungry during COVID. If they didn't have partners, they wanted to get together with their partners. Some people had partners and couldn't get together. And there were just a lot of folks that wanted to be with other people, whether it was your family members, whether it was your romantic lover. And so a lot of people were isolated that were single, didn't have anybody. That's why a lot of people got dogs during COVID. And so when we start to come out of COVID, people are wanting to get back into getting out and being active, and single people are wanting to date again. And it's kind of a weird place to be because you're wanting to get out, but then you're asking, is it healthy or safe for me to be with this person? Maybe you never stopped. Maybe during COVID, you just kept going for it. I don't know. But this, all that glitters, is telling you that something that might seem real and like, wow, this is great. I've just come out of COVID and here's this great person going to be in my life. Woohoo! Back up a little bit. Take your time, one step at a time. And if you're not in a romantic relationship, just be careful with your own feelings and emotions, because remember, right now we are working on self-love. And all that glitters, things that glitter and sparkly and take you away from taking care of yourself, may not be the best for you. Remember the framework we talked about. Okay? All right, let's move on. So that was health and romantic relationships, apparently, the health of your romance. And if you are married, and you're having some challenges after COVID, try to find some fun things to do together and get out. Being locked up for a while with each other, and especially if you had small ones, kind of drove you crazy, drove the kids crazy. So see if you can plan some fun things to do. Something as simple as getting bubbles. I love bubbles during the summer. You wave the little wand or you get the little bubble gun, it's just so much fun. spraying each other with the hoses, instead of just watering the plants. There's a lot of fun things you can do during the summertime with as a family and restore that love. All right. So we did health, wealth, romance, and I'm being asked to pull 4 cards for this coming up week from that same deck. And after I get done with that, I'm going to pull an animal card like we did last week so I can see what decks you all like. All right, so these are 4 cards for the next 7 days. Okay, and I really thank each and every one of you that are hanging in there with me. I really appreciate. Oh, looks like someone says that all the glitters is spot on for you. I'm so glad. This is awesome. I usually douse and use my pendulum, which you all can't see, so that's why I switched to doing the cards because it's fun and you can see it. Okay. For the next 7 days, I'm asking, what is the big picture for humanity and for those of you that are tuning in to look out for? Now, this doesn't mean I want you to go paranoid. Oh, look, I should look out for this. This means that as these things happen in your life, when you're riding up the escalator or choosing to stay stuck, this is what you're going to see. All right, the first card is poised upside down, okay, poised. So what that means is some people think that they are in pretty good positions right now for things in their lives, for anything. I'm okay, I've got what I need, I'm right in that spot, I'm not going to worry about anything. But you know what? We started talking about at the beginning of this broadcast, a lot of things are popping up. A lot of things are popping up for people out of left and right field to knock you off your poise. When that happens, take a look at what's happening. I know I got knocked off my poise today, and basically it was about, my not having patience with something I thought should take maybe an hour, and it extended itself into 2 hours, and I wasn't really happy about it because it, wasn't in my framework. But things happen. So I had to back up and take some deep breaths and realize that just because I wanted to be some way doesn't mean the universe is going to come and support that. All right. Wow. Okay. The next one, upside down also for this week. A lot of upside down things happen. Time to go. I'll turn it this way so you can see it. Time to go. You see the girl running up the stairs, right? So it really is the time to go. It is the time to accelerate your divine self to the next level of consciousness. And I'm telling you, when you get to that next level of consciousness, you have more happiness, you have more joy. It is a mind shift, a total and complete mind shift, because you're focused on God, Spirit, or Source working with you, Earth Mother working with you about your self-love. And when you're focused on that, everybody else will benefit. And I know there's ladies out there, oh, I got to take care of this, I got to take care of this, got to take care of this. Oh, this person needs this. And they're running all over the place. And they're wearing themselves out. And that's going to get you nowhere but sick. I know that. But it's time to go. It's time for you to let go of what is not working in your life. Or to view it in a different angle. Okay? To bring a difference there. All right. Let's see here. The next one I got 2 more. This one upside down. This again is for this coming up week. Deep knowing. Deep knowing. It's got a beautiful bird on it, owl of some sort. Deep knowing. But this card was upside down. So this time that we're in, you may think that you know what's happening. You may think you know that you're all good. But you don't. There is a deep knowing, and it is upside down, which means it's hidden, buried, covered up, cloaked, disguised. And it's inside of you, and it would come out if you just let the poop go. As I've been releasing a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to deal with anymore, I find my intuition is sharper. I mean, it's amazing. A little scary, but amazing. I can walk into, a grocery store, and I know that somebody I haven't seen in a long time is going to be right around the corner, and I turn the corner and right there they are. went to a store the other day and I parked in the parking lot and I looked at a car and I said, oh, I know whose car that is. I didn't see him in the store, but I knew that they bought a new car. And I knew what kind of cars they liked. You know, I'm sure if I'd walked around the store, I would have found them. So your deeper knowing is there. You've got to let it loose. You've got to let it out, especially in 4 months. When this world seems going to get a little wiggy, you need to be able to go within, commune with God, Spirit of Source, and Earth Mother, and know exactly where you stand, even though everything you see around you is crazy. Okay? Last card, and then we'll switch to one more. I'll look for questions, and then that's where it's at for tonight. So the last one that came again upside down is called Chop Wood. This is kind of a Hindu, Indian, Chinese. Yeah, Chinese way of living. It's a spirituality. It's what I believe they teach. If I'm wrong, you guys let me know, because it's been a while since I've had my Eastern Wisdoms degree. But it says chop wood. And basically what that means is, monks and other people would do yoga, or they would meditate, seeking that one mind to connect to God's Spirit of Source, to seek that enlightenment. But even though we're doing that, you still got to chop the wood. That's what chop wood means. You still have to chop the wood. So, even though I'm spiritually enlightened, attuned, working with God's Spirit of Source, I still have to go to the gym if I want to take off my fat. I still have to eat healthy if I want to, maintain a healthy body. I still got to do laundry if I want clean clothes. I got to chop the wood. All right, let me look to see if I got any questions here. Oops. All right. I really appreciate you all being on and helping me out as I'm changing my platform. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm going forward in my work and changing how I'm presenting things, because I found that the energy shift updates are very big value to a lot of people, and also being able to talk about what they're going through. So I combine those two, and that's why I have the Energy Shift Inner Circle. And there's a Facebook support page. And you can come on and we talk about all kinds of things. I do, when I begin, I present and I tell you what's happening with the shifts, what it means to you. I talk about what physical things to use in your life to help yourself work through it or feel better. And then we have a group discussion after that. So if that's something that you are interested in, then I'm going to ask you to come and join us. Okay. Oh, so somebody put into the comments what it is you might like to know. Huh? Jessica, you are right on target. I want to know how I get through everything I need to deal with right now, because it's beyond overwhelming. Okay. I keep it together for now, but I have weak moments where it is so overwhelming in my life in general. Okay, Jessica, if you were not on the beginning of the program, when this reposts, I want you to go back and review it. Because this is a big issue. People are overwhelmed right now, and they're trying to hold it together. And yes, it's a post-COVID world, but it's a big transit of planets and energies and vibrational frequencies. And I was talking about putting a framework in place for yourself. You get a schedule going, and then you work within the schedule. And I don't like schedules myself, but if you don't have some form of boundaries with yourself, then you're going to be overwhelmed. And then emotionally, you're talking about that overwhelm. I've been there. It's like you just feel like everything's coming at you and you can't deal with it all. And that's why you've got to have safe boundaries and say no and put things at a different time if you can. And then with that karma that's coming forward to be cleared from so many lifetimes, I'm going to guess that you're one of those folks, that their Akashic records have opened up a whole bunch, and all of that is pouring forward into the here and now to be cleared. So if you want to talk about that, private message me, and I really appreciate the question. But that's how to deal with it. And again, this coming up Saturday, if you're on my emailing list, I'm going to be sending out an email to talk about how to work through those things. And I'm going to give specific steps for free. And so either you have to go on my email system and get that on Saturday. That's one of the platform changes I'm having. Or you can go to toolsofenergyprotection.com on Saturday morning and look for the blog. All right. So let's see. I don't see any more questions. So we are going to draw from the deck I did last week. It's about animals. And so what I did was I shuffled the cards, and I'll shuffle them again. And I'm asking Spirit for the wisdom of how to handle this coming up next 7 days. And the first card I'm getting, I asked for health first, and I got this one. It's very pretty. It's called Moose and Wisdom. And I asked for this for the health card since we're doing all three tonight. And it says, let your head and your mind reach to the stars, yet keep your feet on the ground. Listen to ancient wisdom in your soul. Ancestors speak through you. You know much. And that is true. That's that inner knowing I was talking about. Funny how things come up again. All right, so that's for your health. So there's inner wisdom about health. All right, now we're going to do money. And I cannot make these up, people. I'll have to start shuffling and get a shuffle camera so you all can see me shuffling. But this is wealth, and it's a pronghorn. It's where you take action. It says now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. And I want to tell you, if there are any entrepreneurs that are listening right now, there is a huge opportunity for inventors and maybe like a chemist. If you want to know more about that, just private message me. But I found out that a product that I love, that I bought every year, that flew off the shelves as bug repellent, is no longer being made because the people that used to own it sold it to a big corporation that has their own bug spray. And the recipe is online and you can get it. So, you'd have to be careful with rights and proprietary stuff and come up with your own thing, but that's huge. All right, so wealth. Now's the time to act, move forward with confidence. Your talent will always help you land on a pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. So make wise choices with your money. Sounds like for those of you that are investors, it might be time to shift things in the market a little bit. All right. Romance, last one. Okay, now this is funny. It's community and it's a B. So I was asking about romance. Remember I was talking about how families can do simple things to get back together, have a little bit more fun in their lives? And I'll tell you, it's amazing when you have a family, they've been through COVID, they argued, they fought, they had their differences. And maybe, like I said, bubbles are simple, but I love them. Just get a little thing of bubbles and go outside and blow them at each other, or get the water hose out or get water balloons or something simple. It doesn't have to be that hard. And it's fun. And I don't care if your kids are 30-something, it's still fun. Maybe you have to sit in a chair and do it, but it's okay. It's time to have community in our love lives. Self-love. That's one love life. That's the most important one to have. And then if you have friends, if you're not in a relationship and you just have friends, to commune like bees do with like-minded, like vibrational frequency people, right? That's what bees do. It says you are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. So you are a powerful creator. And I've been told by several people in my line of work that are in relationship clearings and stuff like that, that they're seeing quite a bit of people getting together into new relationships or just heightening the relationships they already have. But I've been hearing that with these energies, the way they are, and they're manifesting so quickly, anything you think about, that's why a lot of stuff pops up in your face. So go back to Jessica, be careful what you think about, because a lot of stuff is popping up. But I have heard from one of my people in my business here, a contemporary, that he's seeing people bringing in relationships to themselves faster. And I know for myself, there's been some things I've needed and just hadn't budgeted. And all of a sudden, friends and family are sending me or bringing me things that I've just been thinking about and hadn't spoken about out loud. So it's a great time to live in. And I'll be back here next Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. We've changed the time as part of the change of my platform so I can have more time with my family. I do have sessions available. If you go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on, I believe it is sessions and angel readings, and pick out a time that you would like to get together. I'm only taking 2 hours a day for clients, except for on Thursday when I'm at the bookstore at For Heaven's Sakes Books. And you can certainly book there. It gives you more options of time. And then I am working on my classes. I'm finishing pinning them up. I have seen a lot of people go on Tools of Energy Protection and pull up the room that I created when we first went into COVID for a lot of sensitives and highly sensitive people to just come there and get their energies cleared and feel better. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know by private message or thumbs up. It's just a nice, I do it online. I do it on Zoom, and it's a community room where people can just come, get their energies cleared, and feel better and more connected to their angels and their guides. And so I'll be cranking that one up again. Anyway, have a great and wonderful night. Big hugs and kisses to everybody. Thank you so much for your support, and I love each and every one of you.